Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to the Code Focus channel. Today, what we're going to be doing is building out this entire website right here with React.js. So what I'm going to do is bring you through a demo of the website, show you the functionality, the design, and the responsiveness of the website. Yes, it is mobile friendly. And then after that, we're going to get straight into the build. All right, so up top, we got a nav bar with a logo component. We got some nav links here with a cool little hover effect, along with the button with the hover effect. Here is a hero section. The background is travel themed since the website is travel themed, as you could tell. It's actually a video, but right now it's static. Later in the video, we'll set it up so it's on autoplay. Here's a tagline. The tropics are waiting. Let us know when you're finished packing. And some call to action buttons with hover effects as well. Scroll down a bit. You have a Discover a Tropic section with locations. Cool locations. Nice little hover effect for each card. This is an array of objects. Each object contains a location, an image for that location, and whether it's featured or not. If you click View More, you'll get the entire array on a new page called Locations. Cool. So scroll down a bit. You got the newsletter section. Got some form action. Get into that later. Below that, we have a footer. And this footer is displaying these columns dynamically along with the links dynamically. And here we have a Tropic logo link. Click on it, goes back to the home page. Same with this one. A copyright and some social icons. So yeah, I'm going to show you the responsiveness real quick. Boom, look at that. So this will come out as a menu when you click the hamburger icon. It'll close again. And if you click one of these, like locations, it'll actually close the menu and go to that page. We've seen this before. Okay. Go back to the home page, scroll down. As you can see, we have media queries making it responsive. Same with the footer, newsletter. Boom. And as you could tell, we're using React Router to create these different pages. If we go to pricing, boom, we go to the pricing page. Learn more. Yep. Book now. Boom. And you can make these pages however you like. For this tutorial, I'll just show you how to make these separate pages with React Router. All right, so let's get right into the build. But before we do, I want to mention that the GitHub repo is in the description, along with the assets, all the images and icons and whatnot. That will be in the description as well. Thank you very much for being here, and let's get straight into the build. All right, so we're going to be using Visual Studio Code. Go ahead and open up a File Explorer and navigate to a folder where you want this project to live. I'm going to go ahead and create a new one called Tropic. Go ahead and spell that correctly. All right. Go ahead and open it. All right. So then we're going to open up the integrated terminal. I think you can go to File or Terminal, new terminal right there. And we're going to go ahead and do npx create React app. And put a period to have create React app install into that directory you're in. Okay, boom. I'll be back when that's done. All right, we're back. It is finished installing. We're going to go ahead and open the source folder and remove the files we do not need. So delete, delete, delete. All right, so we have app.js, index.css, and index.js. So the extensions I recommend are Prettier, So I actually have to uninstall and reinstall this real quick. And I also recommend ESLint. ESLint will show you errors in your code. And also, I recommend ES7 snippets here. This will make it easier to create components. All right, so in app.js, I'm going to go ahead and remove all this. Wait, I'm going to go ahead and zoom in for you guys. I'm also going to close the terminal. Index CSS, I'm going to take all this out. Save. I'm going to make this an index SCSS. Boom. And for that, what we're going to have to do is install node sass. So npm or yarn install node sass. And that's basically going to help compile the SCSS. Yeah. So in index, we're going to remove this. Here, I'm going to make that smaller. Remove that, and make this index SCSS. We're going to create a styles folder, so we'll also add that there. Let's go ahead and do that. Styles. Put this in there. Move. Boom. We're going to make a reset.scss and variables. .scss. And within here, we will import those two files. There we go. We'll just do box sizing border box and margin 0. We'll make the body width 100%. Okay. And here, we're going to remove these two. And we'll remove that. And now we're going to make all the folders we need. So we're going to need components. We'll need hooks, since we'll create some custom hooks. Pages. UI for some UI components. And yeah, I think that's about it for now. All right, now we're going to set up the reset. So go to Chrome and search up reset CSS. Click on the first one. Should be mayorweb.com. Go ahead and copy all of this and bring it in here. This basically, the goal of Reset Style Sheet is to reduce browser inconsistencies and things like default line heights, margins, font sizes, headings, and so on. So yeah, you can read up about this if you want. We're going to go to Google Fonts next and find the font we need, which is Lato. All right, open that up. I'm going to get rid of all these, so I'll add it with you guys. So go ahead and get 400, bold 700, bold italic 700, and bold 900. Okay. So go to import, copy this part, boom. Go back to VS Code, and in variables, paste that at the top. Okay. Go ahead and create a section for this, fonts, and we'll do Lato. So what the $ Lato does is it creates a variable. Lato and sans serif as the fallback. Okay, next up are the colors. So I don't want to bore you guys by typing all these out, so I'm going to copy and paste them. So here we have the light colors, dark colors. So you guys can go ahead and pause the video, do whatever you need. Just get these in your project. Okay, so those are the colors. I'll type out the rest for the rest of the variables. So border radius. Oh, yeah, I just got a new keyboard, so I'm having a bit of trouble typing. I got a silent keyboard, so it's a bit different than my bulky other loud one. Huh. So here we have letter spacing and border radius. And we just want consistency throughout the project, so that's why we're setting these. And for spacing, do spacing small first, and that will be 12 pixels. Spacing medium, 24 pixels. Spacing large, 32 pixels. And guess what's next? Spacing XL, you got it. 64 pixels. Boom. Now we're gonna do heights. And all we got here is header height. 90 pixels for header. And box shadow, I'm actually gonna copy and paste this. So yeah, it's basically a layered box shadow. Try your best to copy what I have here. But it's not too important. You don't need to have that exact, like it's not gonna ruin the application. Anyway, next up we're gonna make a mixin for the breakpoints, just so we can easily access breakpoints throughout the application. So we'll do @mixin, call it breakpoint, and pass in point. Boom. So if point is equal to XL, which is 1120 pixels, set the media query to be min width 70 EM, and put content in there. Min width. All right, now we're gonna do that for the rest. So yeah, as you can see, we're using min width, so it's mobile first design process. You know what? I'm just gonna copy what I have over here into here, just so I don't bore you guys. Let me just hold on. And I'll get rid of the terminal so you can see all this. Let's go ahead and get that down. Pause the video. Do whatever you need. Basically, we have the XL breakpoint, large, medium breakpoint, medium only, so it's max width, and small breakpoint. And yeah, we show the pixel size along with the EM, just for clarity. Go ahead and save the file once you're done. And yeah. All right, so we're gonna go into index SCSS and put the font family in here from variables. Was it lowercase or uppercase? Lowercase, cool. And we'll grab the roots and do a height of 100. I just like doing this. There we go. Okay, close that, and yes, we forgot to do the assets folder, so we'll do that now. Assets, copy all the assets, and again, this will be in the video description for you. And we're gonna go ahead and do, oh, I guess I'll have to drag them in. There we go. They're all in there, cool. So yeah, we're gonna start on the header first. So we'll go into app and we'll do header. Actually, you know what? We're gonna do fragment first because there's gonna be multiple things in here. So we'll want to contain it within a fragment. Header, and we did not create the header component yet. Don't worry, we're gonna do that now. Go to components, make a new folder called header, and within that folder, create header.js and header.module.scss. And this is how we're going to set up all of our components. So earlier I told you to do the ES7 snippets extension, and that's what I'm using right now. I'm doing RAFCE. Basically, when I hit tab, it's going to create a functional component here for us. Awesome. So we're going to import the classes from the module. And again, this is what we're going to do for all our components. So it might get a bit repetitive, but that's just what you got to do, man. Module.scss. Boom. It's in. Awesome. So now we're going to make this a header element, as this is the header. So that's a bit of semantic HTML for you. Class name. And this is how you have to structure each class. First of all, because it's React, we have to put name after class. And then we're taking from this folder classes. So we do classes dot, as if we're accessing an object, because we are, classes dot header. That will be the label. So we'll go in here and do a header, just for example. Okay, next, within here, we're going to do a logo, which we'll make in a bit. And we'll do a nav, which we're going to make in a bit. And after that, we'll do a div with a class name of classes.header menu. So this component is a bit complex, starting off a bit complex. So just bear with me. It'll make sense once we get going. So header menu toggle. And then within here, we're going to do menu toggle. Menu toggle. Okay, and this is gonna be state later on. It's gonna be a bit messy right now, but as I said, it'll make sense soon. Aside, and I will give this a class name of do this. Since we need two class names in here, classes.menu and keep doing that. Menu open and classes.show. Okay, great. So first of all, what we're going to do is make this. We're going to make this component logo because we're going to use this in multiple places in our project. So we'll go ahead over to the UI and we'll make a logo. And within here, do logo.js and logo module.css. Okay. In logo, do RAFCE. Boom. And yeah, so then here we'll do a because we want to make it a link, and href for now will be this. Later on, we're going to make this a link element for React Router DOM, and classes dot logo. And again, we have to do the import classes from ./logo.module.scss. Save that, boom. And in here, we're gonna have one of our assets, which is leaf SVG. And we're gonna send in fill color as a parameter, or a prop, my bad. And we'll say white. Boom. Just gonna, yeah, it's gonna make me import. So go ahead to the top and do import leaf SVG from /// assets / boom leaf SVG. Okay. And this does not have to be like that. Close it there and do span tropic. Awesome. Now we'll go to the SCSS and we'll import our variables. Oh, this new keyboard, man, I'm telling you, it's hard to get used to. Styles, variables. Awesome. I'll say .logo. And I'm going to start this and pull it up on the side here, on the right side, so you guys can see what's happening as I'm making these edits. But for now, nothing's going to show up since it's a bit messy in the header component. Once that's fixed and everything, I'll show you. None, color, white, decoration. Okay, and then within here, since we're using SCSS, we can nest these. 2 rem color will be white. Font weight, a whopping 900. Letter spacing, a convenient letter spacing variable. Awesome. And margin left, since this will be to the right of the SVG, we'll do margin left spacing, and we'll do small. Awesome. So now we can go back in the header, do this, and it should prompt you so you can import logo. If not, just do it manually. Boom, logo's in. Now, what we have to do next is make a nav component, okay? So we're gonna, since we only use it within header, we're gonna create it within the header folder. We're gonna create a folder that's called nav. And this nav will have nav.js and nav.module.css. Okay, do RAFCE. I'm gonna go ahead and close logo in that, just so you don't get confused. I'll move this over here. And boom, we're working with this. We can actually go to app real quick. I know this is kind of unorganized, but boom. So just so we can close app. That's good to go. Now we're back in nav, okay? Let's go ahead and build this out. So what we'll do is make this a nav. Sorry. Class name. Sorry, I'm a bit distracted. My cat's meowing right now. I don't know if you guys can hear it. Classes.menu. Classes.nav. Boom. And we're going to be sending in isMenu and menu toggle as props. So we'll go ahead and make an unordered list here. And each list element will have an onClick method that triggers menu toggle. And within each of these, we will have a link. For now, it'll just be an HTML link. Locations, and we're just going to go ahead and copy and paste these down. So locations, pricing, and learn more. And if you're curious how I did that copy and paste right there, all I did was hold down Alt and Shift and press down on the down arrow on my keyboard. Okay, so after that, we'll save it. We'll go ahead and import classes, of course. /nav.module.scss. We'll go ahead and style this real quick. Okay, so we'll do dots or import the variables. Styles, variables. Awesome. We'll do nav, height, 100%, display, none. It's going to be display none to start off. Align items, or on mobile, I mean. And then UL will be height, 100%, display flex, and margin left, spacing large. Awesome. And this LI here will be height, 100%. Cool. And we're going to do this little thing where we do and not last child. So basically this will target every element that is not the last child. Every LI element that isn't the last child. And we'll say margin right, spacing medium. Awesome. Next up, got the A, the link element, display flex, line items center, height 100. Font size will be 1.1 rem. Letter spacing. Text decoration, none, as the text decoration will have an underline as the default. We don't want that. I hope you guys don't hear my cat. After a pseudo element, because I don't know if you remember, but we had the cool hover effect. Position absolute and width 100. Height 3 pixels. Bottom 0. Left 0. Right 0. Background will be the variable white, which is white. Opacity 0 to start off, and transition will be 0.3 seconds ease, and we'll assign that to opacity. Now we'll make the opacity 1 when someone hovers over it. Okay, boom. And we'll also do hover color white. Cool. And then below, right here, do include. So we're accessing our breakpoint mixin, and we'll say medium display flex, because as you remember, we had display none up here. So once it gets to a medium size, we'll want to display this nav. Down here, we'll have menu nav with 100% display flex. And so this is also the nav, but this nav will be displayed on the mobile version. So it's the menu. It'll be within the menu. Flex direction column, text, align, center, font size, 1.4 rem, UL, display flex. flex direction is column, margin bottom will be spacing large. For the LI, go ahead and scroll down for you. And not last child. And say margin bottom, spacing medium. Great. And next up we have the A. Text decoration, none. Color, white. And for the hover, for now, we'll do color white. Change that later. Awesome. So we can go back to header, put that in, boom. Awesome. And also within this aside here, go ahead and put nav. And we'll say is menu, and menu toggle will be equal to the handle menu toggle function, which we'll make right now. Copy, const, boom. So make this. So this will be triggered when the hamburger icon is clicked. P and opposite of P. So we're going to go ahead and create state here. I'll explain this in a second after I create the state. So const menu open and set menu open. So we're using the use state hook here. And the default will be false. So default, the menu will not be open. Go ahead and import it. So it's imported at the top here. And so this handle menu toggle will take the previous state, which is false in this instance, and it'll make it, and it'll set the state so it's the opposite of false. You know what I mean? So if it was true, it would set it to false. If it's false, it would set it to true. Anyway, now we're gonna import some. We're gonna use React icons real quick to get the hamburger icon and the close icon. So we're gonna do npm install React icons. Okay, go ahead and install that. Okay, now that that's installed, we're going to import some of these icons. So import CG, oh, not capital, CG menu right and CG close from, oh, geez, man, React icons. And for React icons, we have to target the folder. So since it's CG, we'll target the CG folder. Okay, and we'll go ahead and create a const here that will be menu toggle. And we're accessing this right here, as you can see. So what we'll do is set this to be if menu is not open, it should be the hamburger icon, CG menu right, which is the hamburger icon. And we'll also give this an on click, which is linked to the handle menu toggle function that we created up here. Okay. So now if menu is open, then this should, oh, don't do that. Do brackets like that and say CG close. Now do on click handle menu toggle, boom. And great, now that's all hooked up. And all we have to do now is the styling for the header. All right, so here's the website so far. It is not done, obviously. Yeah, so let's get working on the header section. So height, we're gonna do header height, and we set that in the variables. So here we go. And speaking of variables, let's go ahead and import them. Up at the top, import // styles variables. Boom. Oh, yeah, gotta put a semicolon there. There we go. I'll try to do that. There we go. Okay. Padding, we're going to set this to be 0 and 1.5 on mobile. Display flex. Justify content space between. Align items center. Position will be fixed, so as we scroll, it stays at the top. Width will be 100%. Background RGBA and dark, and we're going to make this just a bit transparent, so 0.9. And there's a cool little thing you can do with a backdrop filter. You can set a blur, and we'll set 5px. Z-index, we're going to make this a big number, like 1000, just so it stays at the top of everything else. And transition should be all 0.5 seconds ease. And we will include the mixin breakpoints, breakpoint mixin, medium. So the padding for this will be 0 and 3 rem. Awesome. Next up, we have to do menu. I'm gonna, I shouldn't have had that open the whole time, my bad. For menu, we'll do @include, start off right away with a breakpoint. On medium, it should be display none. So on mobile, you will not see the menu. Or no. On mobile, you will see the menu, but once it gets to desktop view, it will be displayed none. So next, do and toggle. Set this to color white. Position relative. Z index of 10. Cursor pointer. And since we have the div here toggle and the SVG is within this div, we'll target SVG and do font size 2 rem. Okay, save that. All right, and hover. Transform. Scale 1.05. All right, now we'll target menu and we'll say display flex. Justify content will be center. Align items center. Position fixed. Top 0 pixels. Bottom 0 pixels. Left or right 0 pixels. Padding will be 3 rem. And yeah. And then width will be 70. View width. Outline should be 0. Background will be dark with a Z index of 9. Oh boy. Transform. translate X. So what this will do is make it so the menu slides into view, because we will set translate X to 0 once on open. Transition, or transition, not transform, all 0.3 seconds ease. Awesome. Now down here we'll have show and make this transform translate X 0. Boom. And opacity should be 1. Okay. Oh, okay. I just had to refresh. I was wondering why it wasn't, working. Jeez. All right. So here it is so far. All right. So I just spent a couple minutes debugging something because, this is not right. And I noticed a few things. Before I had this as left, go ahead into nav SCSS and change this to margin right. And along with that, go to header and add a height of 100 and a max width of 400 pixels. Awesome. And to fix this issue, I noticed in the console, of course I didn't look here first, which I should have. It says class A name. I spelled it as class A name, so I did that in the nav. You guys probably noticed as I was coding and fixed it yourself, but yeah, there we go. Now this is working as it should. Okay, and when we make it bigger, let's go ahead, make it bigger. Yep, awesome, it's working. So now we just have to add the button to this, and for that we're gonna create a whole UI component, whole new UI component. So go here, create a button folder, then a button.js file along with a button.module.scss. And I'm going to close these for now. RAFCE tab. Make this a button. Jeez. Okay, and import classes. Don't do that. From /button.module.scss. Awesome. And now build this out. So I'll do class name should equal classes.button and outline. If true, then set a class of outline, else do nothing. So we'll send outline as props. So basically when we create the button component, we can send in props. And if we send an outline, it'll make it a styled as an outline button. Cool. So then here, let's go right here, and we'll access the children. So go ahead and pull children through. Boom. So now let's go and do the styling. We'll import the variables, first of all. Semicolon. Button. Cursor pointer. Border none. Outline none. Jeez. Border radius. Border radius. Padding should be spacing small and spacing large. Font family, inherit. Font weight, 700. Letter spacing variable. Okay. And the font size should be 1.1 rem. The background will be light. The color should be dark. The border, 1px, solid, dark, and transition will be all 0.3 seconds ease. And we included that because we'll do a hover element in here, and we'll say background RGBA light, and set that to 0.8 for the alpha. Next, we'll handle the outline class. So dot outline right here, and we'll say border 1px solid white, not white, but light. Cool. And background will be RGBA aqua 0. And hover background RGBA light 0.2. I don't know why I had aqua here, actually. Let's make this transparent. There we go. Okay, so now that we have the button done, we'll go back to the nav. And we will include the button below the unordered list. Yep. Button. Okay, and for the text, we'll say book now. And if you didn't know, sending this in is sent as this children, and then we display it within the button. Okay. Button class name is equal to classes dot book now, and we'll say on click is equal to menu toggle. Okay, awesome. So it should be here. Awesome, it's right there. If we click it, oh, we also have to do an on click handler for the button. So we'll go here and say on click. And on click. Send that in to the props. Awesome, now this should work. Cool. So if you click any of these, the menu state gets set back to false. Therefore, we're closing the menu. And it is also on this view. Cool. And I'll just show you real quick what happens if we pass an outline. So yeah, there's our other button style. Cool. Now we're going to set up the home page along with the hero section. Go ahead and make a home.js file. And we don't need to do styling for this. So just do the JS file. Make a fragment here. Within the fragment, we'll have hero. Okay. So let's go ahead and create the hero section within the components. As always, we'll create a hero.js and hero module.SCSS. make a functional component. Now we will do class name. Oh, before we do that, we'll import the classes. Classes dot container. So we're gonna have container, and within there, we're gonna have the video elements. So we'll set the source as cover vid. Import cover vid from the assets folder. // assets and cover. Let's open it up, see what it's called. Cover.mp4. Great. Okay. Let's go back here and make sure it's in the home section. And then we'll go to app and import home. So then we should see it here. Awesome. There it is. Sweet. Let's do a bit more styling, make it look good. Okay, so first we'll set this to muted. Loop. Class name will be classes.video. And the ID will be set to video. Now we can do a div with classes hero. Within here we'll have the content, so we'll do dot hero classes dot hero content, and within hero content we will do a h1. The class name of classes dot hero content title. I'm gonna make this a bit larger for now. And we'll say the tropics are waiting. Below that, we'll say do a span, and we'll say let us know when you're finished packing. Great. And we should do a class name of classes.hero content tagline. Cool. Below that, do a paragraph element that has a class name of classes.hero content description. All right. And then just go ahead and do lorem, I guess 16. Click tab and boom, we'll have some filler text there. Do another div below that has a class name of classes hero content CTA, call to action. And within here, we'll have a couple more buttons, and we made the buttons component, so it's as easy as adding them in here. Make the first one say book now. Go ahead and import the button. Okay. And for the second button, do learn more, and we'll make this an outline button. So outline. I just want to check if it was outline or outlined. Outline. Okay, cool. So that's all in there, but it is not styled yet. So all the text is down here. Let's go ahead and start styling. First of all, import the variables. Styles variables. And do container. Position should be relative. Height 100 VH. Min height will be 800 px. Margin 0 auto. Video will have position fixed. Top 0, left 0, width 100%, height 100%. So it'll fill the whole container. And object fit should be cover. Great. Look at that. Looking good so far. I'm going to move this over so you guys can see the edits as I make them. Cool. Now let's start on the hero class. Position absolute. Top 0, left 0, width 100%, height 100%, background RGBA dark 0.3. So there's a bit of an overlay, just so it's not as bright and you can see the text better. With that, we'll do padding top, header height. Before I add it, I'm going to show you why. Because since this nav bar is fixed, all our content is up there behind it. So we're going to want to do a padding of header height. So the container starts right here below the nav. Hopefully that makes sense. Header height. And display flex. Align items, center, and justify content center. So all of our content is centered. There it is. Great. Now let's start working on the content styling. So we'll do content, and margin will be 0, 1.5. Mobile, great. And background will be RGBA. Dark 0.6. And you can make this a different alpha. I like 0.6 for this, but you can do whatever you want. Backdrop filter, again, you can do whatever you want for this. Blur 2px. That's what I did. I think it's a good filter. Blur. Next up is padding. We'll do spacing large. Border radius. This consistency is very important to make applications look professional. Text align left. So on mobile, the text should be on the left. That will change once we get to a bigger screen. Width will be 1000 pixels. Display flex. Flex direction column. Letter spacing. And text transform uppercase. Great. Okay, then go ahead and add a breakpoint. Of medium and have text align center. So when this gets bigger, the text gets aligned centered. Awesome. Next, we'll target the title, class, and say font size 2.4 rem. Color white. Font weight 700. Margin bottom. Spacing small. At include breakpoint small. Font size 3 rem. And after that, do another breakpoint of medium and have font size 3.8 rem. Yeah, so for all these text elements, I use multiple media queries. And tagline. Font size 1.6 rem. Font weight 700. Color will be white, or not white, but light. Font style, not size, but style. Italic. Awesome. So that's looking good so far. And margin bottom will be spacing medium this time. And again, let's add these breakpoints. So let's just copy and paste from up here, but edit the rem. 1.8 for the small and 2 for the medium. Awesome. Looking good so far. Go ahead and check this out. Cool. All right, next up is description. Description. Text transform capitalize instead of all uppercase. Color light. Width 100%. Font size 1 rem. Margin bottom will be spacing large this time. And line height 20 pixels. Beautiful. So if you couldn't tell already, or if you didn't notice, I do margin bottom just to stay consistent. You know, I could be doing margin top, you know, putting it on tagline to create that space in between, but I like to stay consistent with margin bottom on all my elements. Anyway, go ahead and add breakpoints to description. The first one, we're going to do the font size 1.1 rem, but we're also going to do width of 80%. So on mobile, it'll be 100, and like on a bigger mobile or tablet, it'll be 80%. And then on a bigger screen, it'll be 60%. And the font size will be the same, actually. But we'll do a margin of 0 auto so it gets centered, and a margin, and that's it. Yeah, that's it. Okay, cool. Actually, no, that's not it. Margin bottom spacing large. See, it's repeated here, but we have to do that because we're doing margin 0 auto here, so we have to reset it since this resets that. So we have to set it again. We could just do it like this, just so it's less confusing. And that will be the same. So that's good. Great, so that's what it looks like so far for mobile. Let's go ahead and do the call to action buttons. CTA. I'll scroll up for you guys. Display flex. Flex direction column. Beautiful. Align items. Flex start. So the buttons, I want them to have a width 100%. And button not last child. What the heck am I doing, man? There we go. Margin bottom of spacing small. So this will just add margin to this one instead of both. Now we'll do breakpoints yet again. Same pattern. Actually, no, it's just for medium. Now that I think about it. So we'll do align items centered. And button will have width auto. And we'll do margin 0 auto and flex direction row. Below that, we'll take this and do margin bottom 0 and margin right spacing small. Let's go ahead and make this bigger so you can see. Okay, so we have a bit of an issue with the description, so we'll go ahead and fix that. It should be centered. But yeah, looks pretty good so far. Let's go up and fix that. Oh, it's because I need to make this auto. Now it's good. Okay, awesome. Let's go ahead and change that to auto. Cool. So the hero section is done now. All right, so now we're going to work on the locations section. Open up home and add locations. We did not create this component yet, but we will do that right now. So go in components and do locations as a folder. And then in that folder, make locations.js and locations.module.scss. All right. And in here, do RAFCE to create a functional component and import classes from /locations.module.scss. Awesome. Now, we're going to go ahead and do a class name of classes.container. Within that, do another div that has classes.location locations, right? And within that, we're going to have locations content. So classes.locations. Oh, don't make that capital, make it lowercase locations. And __ content. Within content, we're going to have an h2 to start off. And the class name will be classes.locations content title. And here we'll say discover a tropic. Cool. Below that, make another div that has a class name of classes. Classes.locations content gallery. And this is where we're going to display data. And we're going to get that data from an array. And the array will be full of objects. Okay, so up here, let's go ahead and create an array called location data. And I don't know if you remember, but when I showed the demo, I told you that we're going to have a location for each of these. So first one will be Bora Bora is featured. And we'll say true for this one. And then we'll also have the image. And we'll have to import the image from assets. So I already know what it's called. It's called Bora Bora JPEG. Let's go ahead and import that. So import Bora Bora JPEG from // assets / I wish it would autocomplete this for me, but it's not doing it. Bora Bora.jpg. Awesome. So we have the first object done. Now we just have to create a few more of these. 9 to be exact. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll start off with 6. Here we'll do 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. For the second, we'll say Maldives. And is featured will be true. And we'll do Maldives JPEG. Great. Change the name. Awesome. And for 3, we're going to do Cabo San Lucas. Is featured will be false. You can set it to true if you want. Doesn't matter. Okay. Copy that. Import it. This part's kind of tedious, but you gotta do what you gotta do. Next up is Croatia. Set this to false. And we'll say Croatia JPEG. Import it. Oh, we should have just did this. All right. Croatia is done. Next up, do Greece. Is featured, should be false. Greece JPEG as the image. Go ahead and import it. Oh. Okay. And last but not least, we have Albania. We'll set this one to true. Albania JPEG as the image. Import it. Okay, great. Awesome. So we have 6 objects in this array. So we'll go to gallery and we'll say within brackets we'll say location data.map. And we're going to take each element that's being mapped and pull out its contents. So location is featured and image. And don't forget ID. There we go. You know what? Let's put braces around here, brackets, do an arrow, and then do more brackets and create a div. And this div, this div will have a class name of classes.galleryItem. And within that, go ahead and make an image source will be linked to the image, and the alt will be set it to be location. Yeah, we'll just set it to be location, actually. Great. Now set the image class name to be classes.gallery item image img. Cool. And below image, we'll have another div that has a class name of overlay. So classes.overlay, and we don't need this closing. Instead, we'll do this. After that, do another div that has a class name of classes.gallery item content. And within there, we'll do a icon, IO, location, outline. We'll import that in 1 second. Below that, we'll have an H2 that has a class name of classes.gallery item content location. It's pretty long, but and in here we'll have location. Cool. So let's go ahead and import this icon from React Icons. Okay. So import. No, that's not what we want to do. Let's copy this. Oh man, I'm messing up right now. Copy, put it in brackets, say from React Icons, and we'll have to access the folder, IO, it's IO5, I think. I'm pretty sure. Might be IO. Anyway, we'll find out in a little bit. Okay, and below the gallery item content, we're actually going to put something else. We're going to put this. If it is featured, then we'll do another div as a class name of classes.gallery item tag. And within here, we'll just say featured. Great. Great. Cool. And over here, we'll go ahead and make another div that has below the gallery div, and we'll have this class name set to classes.locations content view more. So this will be the view more button. Just have it as an A for now. View more. And we'll do a BS arrow right. Amazing. So we'll have to import the arrow. So copy it, go up here, import BS arrow right from React Icon /BS. Great. Now let's go to home. Let's include locations. And we should be able to scroll down and see something, but we don't. We have to do some styling to make this work properly. Yeah. So let's go ahead and do that. Go to locations and import the variables. Do container, background, light, position relative, z index of 10, so that it goes over this fixed element here. Look, see, if I didn't have the Z index, if I didn't have position relative and the Z index, then it wouldn't be here. It would be somewhere else. Cool. So then we'll have margin 0 auto so that it's centered on bigger screens. Cool. So here it is unstyled right now. Honestly, it looks decent, but let's get the styling. So let's target locations. Say width 100%, padding 100 pixels and 0. Display flex, justify content center, align items center. Great. Then target content, margin 0 and 1.5 for mobile. Okay. You know what? Go back to HTML and include a key. I don't know why, but that came to my mind out of nowhere. So include the key there when we're mapping. Always need keys. And set a width to 1000 pixels. Display flex, flex direction, column. Target the title. Color dark. Font size 2 rem. Letter spacing should be letter spacing from the variables. Font weight will be not 200, but 900. Position relative. And margin bottom spacing XL. First time we're using XL. So that's 64 pixels. And then we're going to have a pseudo element. So we're going to create a little line here. So do pseudo after and say content. Position absolute. Display inline. Top 15 pixels. Right 0. And width will be calc 100% minus 265 pixels. Height, background, dark. So the reason it's overflowing right now is because of these images, but that'll get fixed in a second. Scroll down for you. Display flex. Grid template columns will be 1FR, and grid auto rows will be 275 pixels. And the reason we're doing auto rows is because this data is dynamic. So if you were to add data, we'd want it to automatically add grid rows. And the gap will be spacing medium, margin bottom, spacing XL. Cool. Now let's target. Oh, before we target, let's actually include breakpoints. So we'll do small first, and for this we'll set grid template columns to repeat 2, 1FR. So not breakpoints, but breakpoint. So yeah, it's gonna look bad right now until we style the cards, but I'll explain. So I'll explain this stuff later on. Auto rows will be 250 pixels. and include breakpoint, medium, not medium, but large. We'll do grid template columns, repeat 3 1FR. Awesome. So now it's time to style the gallery item. The moment we've all been waiting for. We'll do cursor pointer, position relative, border radius, and for border we'll do 2px solid white. Very nice. Transition. It's going to be 0.3 seconds, ease all. And box shadow, we're going to use our infamous box shadow from variables. Oh, wow, look at that. Okay. And then for hover, we're actually going to change up the box shadow. So what I'm going to do is just go to variables. Where's variables? Go to variables and we'll grab this, copy, go back here, paste her in, and we're just going to reduce each one of these by a bit. So we'll take this one down to 10, I guess. And this one we'll reduce down to 6. This one, 3. And this one will be 1. And I'll just keep that one at 1 as well. So when you hover, you can see the box shadow has a bit of an effect. It's very it's not a big change, but it's definitely noticeable. Okay. So on hover, we're also going to change the overlay. Make the background transparent. Great. Did we even do the overlay yet? I don't think, no, we didn't. We did not do the overlay yet. But we will in a second, so you'll see that effect very soon. First, let's style the image. So the border radius stuff is going to get a bit weird here, but it'll make sense, don't worry. Border radius, so we're targeting the top left. And then border radius, border top right radius. Position, make the image position absolute. Give it a top of 0, a left of 0, a width of 100%, a height of 75%, object fit, cover, an object position. You know, now that I think about it, we don't need object position. I would set it to the center. You could set it to bottom if you want. Here, I'll show you what that looks like. I guess it wouldn't really matter right now. Yeah, just have it the default object position center. We're going to target the same border radius corners, so let's just copy and paste. Position absolute. You can actually copy and paste some more stuff from here. Copy, paste. Width 100% height. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Copy, paste. And then we'll set a background of RGBA, dark, and 0.4. So yeah, you can see the hover effect on these now. Very cool, very cool. And we'll also set a transition for the hover effect. So 0.3 seconds, ease off. There it is. Awesome. Now let's target content. And content. Position absolute. Bottom 0. Left 0. Width 100%. display flex, align items center, justify content center, height 25%, background white, border bottom left radius will be border radius, and border bottom right radius will be border radius as well. Let's go ahead and target the SVG in here and have that set to color aqua and font size 1.1 rem. Very good, very good. Next up, target location. Do margin left 6px, so it has a bit of space from the SVG. Font size 1.2 rem. Color will be dark. Letter spacing. Great. Next up, we'll do tag. We'll have the position set to absolute. Background white. Top -12 pixels. Left spacing small. Padding 6px, 8px. Border radius will be border radius, and font size should be 0.8 rem, so it's quite small. And letter spacing, yes, letter spacing, you guessed it. All right, so as you could probably tell, there's a bit of a bug here, and I realized what I did. I set the gallery as display flex when it should be display grid. A lot of you guys probably call it that, but now they look as they should. Awesome. Okay, let's get back to work. Let's close this terminal. Where did we leave off? We were doing the view more. So target view more. And display flex. This time it is display flex. Justify content should be center. Align items center. Actually scroll down to where it's at. Okay, it's right here. Now within view more, target the A, aka the link. Letter spacing should be letter spacing. Padding, this will be spacing small and spacing medium. Text decoration, none. Border radius. Color will be dark. Transition will be 0.3 seconds ease all. Display flex. Align items center. Very nice. Font size. If I could spell. 1.1 rem. Great. Target the SVG within there and do font size of 1.2 rem. Margin left. Spacing small. And padding top 2 pixels. Great, look at it. That's what we got going on. And now we're gonna do a hover effect. It takes advantage of all the padding and border radius, all that stuff we set earlier. So background, RGBA, dark, 0.05. So let's I'll exit out of developer tool so you can see this. There it is. Awesome. So yeah, let's look at the responsiveness of this so far. So you can see there, first media query makes these rows of 2. And then the next media query will make them rows of 3. Very nice. So it's looking really good so far. I'm pretty sure that's it for the locations component. Awesome. So now we're going to start on the footer. So go to app and include a footer here. And we'll go ahead and create this component within components. So make a folder called footer. And within that folder, do footer.js and then do footer.module.scss. And here do rafce to create a functional component. Make this element a footer element. Yep. And actually around the footer element, we're going to do a div that has a class name of container. And we're also going to have to import the classes from footer.module. And on the footer element, set the class name to classes.footer. And within this element, we're going to make a div that's called classes.newsletter. And within here, we'll do an h4 with the class name of classes.footer newsletter headline, and actually go back up here and make this footer newsletter. Then within the h4, we'll type join the Tropic newsletter to receive groundbreaking rewards. Travel rewards, that is. And under that, make a span that has unsubscribe at any time with a period. And below that, make a div with a class name of classes dot footer newsletter form. And within that form or div, make an input with type email, class name of classes dot input, and a placeholder that states your email. Awesome. And below this input, include a button. The button component that we created initially. And within it, just type subscribe. All right, so below these two divs here, div closing tags, make another div that has a class name of classes dot footer content. This is where all the links and columns will go. So we're actually not going to put anything here yet because we have to make the array of objects. So let's go ahead and do that actually. So we'll say const footer columns. And we'll make this an array of objects with an ID. A headline. This first one will be about us. And links. So I'm not going to type all this out because I already did, when I made the project. So I'm just going to copy and paste it. Then you can pause the video and do what you will. So here it all is. I'll make the screen bigger. Sorry. Hold on. Where is it at? There it is. Go ahead and copy that. While we're at it, we're going to make a const socials. So socials variable here, an array actually, that has each of the icons for the socials. We'll have to, and this is another tedious part where we're gonna have to import all of these. So, but it's not that bad because it's from React Icons, and they're all within the same folder. So go ahead and type FA YouTube, FA Instagram, FA Twitter, FA Snapchat Ghost, and FA Facebook, and then say from React Icons /FA. Now complete this array with each one of these as a component. Snapchat. Lastly, we'll put Facebook. There we go. Okay, we'll use that later. Right now we're going to use footer columns. So go back down here, and in the content div, we're going to map over that that array. So footer columns dot map. And then for each item, we'll dissect it and take out the ID, the headline, and the links. We'll create an arrow function here and do brackets. Say div. Oh, closing div. Okay, this div will have a class name of classes dot footer content call as in column headline, and within here put brackets and do headline. Clicking the wrong button there, geez. Headline. Okay, under this, or not under it, actually, yeah, no, you know what, I forgot to add a div here that has a class name of classes dot content footer content. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry about my typing. And put the headline within here. And under the headline, we'll have another element that is a UL element, and we'll go ahead and map the links now. So we'll do links.map. I don't know what we just imported. What did we import? Take this out if you did the same thing. So links map, then dissect the link. Well, no, don't dissect it. Just type link, and also do index. And then do brackets and say li. And for each li, we'll set a key, which will be the index +1. And then here have an a tag and put a link. Awesome. Great. So let's actually make this smaller so you can see over here. I don't think, yeah, we didn't import it yet. So let's go back to app and import footer. Okay. There we go. Well, we have to do styling. Of course, you can't see it. We all have to do styling first before we can look. Okay, so under this div right here, go ahead and do another div that has class name of classes.footer base. Within there, do the logo. Import that. And then do a span. And the span will have a class name of classes dot footer base year. Say tropic. Then put and NBSP semicolon. And that is the code for a space. And then do and copy semicolon. And that's the code to have the copy symbol. And then repeat the space code after that. So copy and paste this. And then do brackets and say new date get full year. So that's going to dynamically display the year. All right, and under that, do another UL and have the class name be classes.footer base socials. And then within there, you're going to want to map the socials that we created earlier. I'll show you again this. We're mapping that. So socials.map. We'll say pass in social and index. Actually, let's call this icon. So we're passing an icon and index. And then we'll return an li that has an a in it. And the a will contain the icon. The li will have a key of index plus 1. Great. Now we're mapping all the data and we got all the whole structure set up for footer. Now let's style it. All right. So let's import variables. Style and variables. Okay. So container width 100%, display flex, justify content center, background dark, position relative. Under that, do footer. Give it a padding of 100 pixels. For the top, 0 for right, 25 for bottom, 0 for left. Fix any spelling mistakes. There we go. Do width 100 pixels. Not 100, but 1000. Jeez, man. There we go. 0 and then 1.5 rem. Great. All right, so now you can see it since we added position relative here. Yeah, so got the newsletter, not styled yet. All the links not styled yet, but you can see the mapping worked and everything. Cool. Let's keep going. So target the newsletter and say display flex direction column, align items center, text align center, and margin bottom will be 100 pixels. Then do a headline and set this color to white. Font size should be 1.6 rem. Letter spacing, of course, set to letter spacing. And the margin bottom will be spacing medium. Sweet. And under the headline, we will target span. And we will say color white, font size 1.1 rem, margin bottom to be spacing medium. Awesome. Now let's go and target the form and form. And we'll say display flex, flex direction, column, align items, center, and within the form, we'll target button. I'm going to scroll up for you guys, scroll down, width 100% for the buttons, yeah, good. I'm going to do include breakpoint here. Breakpoint of medium. Say button with auto. Flex direction row. Great. Okay. Next up is the inputs. Letter spacing should be letter spacing. Font family will be inherit. Font size 1.1 rem. Margin bottom spacing small. Padding spacing small and spacing medium. Great. And then border radius will be border radius. Okay. And within here, we'll do a breakpoint. Scroll down of a breakpoint of medium. And we'll say width 300% or pixels. Margin bottom 0, and margin right will be spacing small. Great. Probably spelled something wrong. Headline. Yeah, spelling stuff wrong left and right. Newsletter. That's what we want to see. I was wondering why that wasn't working. Okay, I'm glad it is though. Thought I would have to go and debug stuff. Yeah, man, it's usually spelling mistakes that get me. Target content here and do width 100%. Do min height 20 VH. And do display grid. Well, let's take a look at the newsletter before we start doing that, so you can see it's responsive. Great. Okay, now we're gonna work on this section here. So set grid template columns to 1FR. Gap will be spacing medium, and text align will be center on mobile, and margin bottom will be spacing XL, second spacing XL of the project. Then go ahead and include a breakpoint of small and set grid template columns to repeat to 1FR and do text align. Actually, no text align. And do include another breakpoint. Come on now, medium, and we'll say grid template columns repeat 4 and 1FR. Great, and below those breakpoints, target col as in column, and set its height to 100%. And within there, do headline, color, white, font size, 1.6 rem, margin bottom, spacing medium, and then letter spacing should be letter spacing. And then below that, we can target links. And within links, we'll just go ahead and target the LI. And we'll do margin bottom, spacing small. Great, as you can see, it's coming together. Target the A and do letter spacing, padding left 2 pixels. Okay. Actually, we're not going to do padding left there. Never mind. Okay, then we'll do width 100%, and we'll do color white, text decoration none. Got that, a semicolon. Jeez, man. Okay. We definitely forgot to do something. I think class name here. Oh, we also forgot to do key ID, and class name should equal classes.footer content call links. Now we're good. Look at that. And they're all pointer cursor on hover. Okay. Let's go back, and now let's target the base. So say base, display flex, flex direction, not bay, base, column reverse, line items center, justify content center, color will be white, and we'll do include breakpoint medium, and we will set this to be flex direction row. And below that, we'll target the A, we'll target the and year, and we'll target the UL, and set all of them so that and not last child has a margin bottom of spacing medium. And we'll do a breakpoint here that says include breakpoint medium, margin bottom should be 0. And then under this yellow bracket, we're going to do another breakpoint that says include breakpoint medium flex 1. Go ahead and fix this mistake. Beautiful. Check it out so far. Awesome. Now let's continue onto year. And we'll say display flex, justify content center, letter spacing will be letter spacing, font size 0.9 rem. Okay, and then below that, do socials, display flex, justify content, flex end, make sure you get that. Target the LI within here and say and not last child. Give that a margin right of spacing medium. Include a breakpoint here of medium, and have margin right be spacing small. Great. Great. And also target an A within the LI and do font size 1.6 rem. Color white. Text decoration none. We don't have to do, letter spacing and all that because they're links, they're icons, not text. Okay, so I notice we're missing some margin here. Let's diagnose this. Oh, I see the problem. Since we're doing flex direction column reverse, we're actually going to want to do not first child here, and then the margin will be added. Great. So we're done. We're pretty much done the styling. The structuring and styling of all our components is done. Look at that. Look how nicely. Oh my goodness. It's so nice. Look at that. So this is good to go. Let's full screen it. Great. But we're not done the video because we have to add some more functionality, fix a few problems. All right, so the first issue we're going to deal with has to do with the menu. So as you can see, when I open the menu and I resize the window, it disappears because of the media queries. When I go back, it is still opened. And now this problem it's kind of like more of a preference. I would like it so when you resize and you go back, the menu is closed again. So the way we're going to deal with this issue is by accessing the DOM and getting the dimensions of the document so we can see when this reaches a certain point and set the menu open to false. And here in header, we have the menu open state. So this is where we'll do all the functionality. Okay, so what I'll do is create a hook that is called useWindowSize. And when you create hooks, custom hooks, you have to have the keyword use in front of the name. So that's just convention. So here we're going to do const size equals use window size. So this is going to actively get the window size every time, like as we're resizing the window, it's gonna go ahead and get the size of the document. So let's go ahead and create this in the hooks folder. We'll say use windowsize.js. We'll do a functional component, and here we'll say we're going to return the window size. No, not that. Window size. We're returning window size. So we're going to keep state. And that state will be window size. Set window size. So we'll import the hook use state. And the default will be an object with width undefined and height undefined. Next, we'll use the useEffect hook. Not that. Do it like this. Import it. Within useEffect, we'll do const handle resize. Here we'll set the window size and we'll set the object to be width window dot inner width. So next we'll do height window dot inner height. First, to use this window, we have to access it in the DOM. So we'll do window dot add event listener, resize, and handle resize. So we're accessing the window here, and we're adding an event listener to it. And so every time we resize the window, right, as we're doing this, it's calling this function here, handle resize, and we have to actually put this out of the function, and it's calling this function, and it's setting the window size to be the window inner width and window inner height. So here we'll do handle resize. So once this is called, it's gonna do handle resize, and then every time we resize, it'll call handle resize. Then we'll do a return for a cleanup. We'll do window dot remove event listener, resize, handle resize. So when it unmounts, when the component unmounts, this will get the event listener removed. All right, so now we can go ahead and use this within our header. Let's import it. We're going to do a use effect hook. And this use effect hook will have a dependency array of size. So every time this size changes, this use effect will be run. If size.width is greater than 768 and the menu is currently open, then we're going to set menu open to false. And this right here is going to solve our issue. We also have to add menu open to the dependency array since we use it within here. And yeah, so let's go ahead and test this out. The menu is open. The media query closed it right there. Let's go back, and it is still closed. Awesome. That is good to go. All right, so what we're going to do now is set up React Router DOM so we can access different pages within our application. Okay, so go to app.js and open the terminal. And split a terminal, get a fresh one open, and do npm install React Router DOM. Okay. So if you never used React Router DOM, I recommend just going to the documentation and looking through it real quick. It's pretty easy to use and get started with. Has some great documentation for quickly getting set up. All right, so that's good to go. So in the app component, we're gonna import route and switch. And so the header and the footer are going to remain on every page. So we're going to put the switch around the home component. And then we're going to wrap the home component within a route. All right. And within this route, we're going to set the path to dash. That'll be the path to the home component or home page. We're actually going to put exact here. Right. Okay. So this is because we have not wrapped our application with the browser router yet. So we'll go to index.js and we'll import browser router as router. And we're going to wrap the app in browser router. Boom. So this should work now. Awesome. So we're not really going to be able to show you that it works with just one route. So let's go ahead and create some more. what we'll do is go to pages, and we'll start with learn more. Or you know what? Let's do learn more. Learn more.js. And we'll do RAFCE to create a functional component. And in here, what we're going to do is import a fragment. There we go. Jeez. All right. Then we're going to import the locations. No, not locations. We're going to import the hero. My mistake. Hero. And there we go. Okay, we can take that out. And so what we'll do here is is go to app and create another route. So we'll do route, and we're going to put this learn more page within this route. And the path should be set to /learn more. Great. Okay, so this hero, we're going to go ahead and make this hero component a bit dynamic so we can reuse it. But first, let's just test if this worked. So as you can see on the home page, we have the hero and all this stuff. So if we click learn more right now, nothing happens. We're just on the home page still. So we have to actually link. We have to put the link tag, wrap this with the link tag that comes with React Router DOM. So let's go to the nav bar and go ahead and wrap these. So we'll do link. Let's import this. So it got imported from React Router DOM. Let's copy it and paste it where we need to paste it. And instead of href, we actually have to type 2. And then we'll put where it should link to. So location. This one should be pricing. And then this one should be learn more. So learn more is already hooked up. So let's go ahead and test it. Learn more. Boom. It worked. As you can see, we're not on the homepage anymore. We're on learn more. If we were to click on another one like pricing, nothing would be here because we didn't add a page yet for pricing. But learn more, it is set up. So let's go ahead and make the hero component dynamic. So set some params here. Is dynamic and children. Okay. And what we want to do is take the const. We'll take all this content and put it within a variable up here that's called home page content. Return. There we go. We actually have to wrap this with the fragment though. Awesome. So the hero right now, we have to do some updates to it. So set, we'll say if this is not dynamic, then we'll display the home page content, right? All right. And we'll also do a check for if it is dynamic, then we'll return this. We'll do an h1 that has a class name of title. right? So just copy and paste this. And we'll pass in children. So then we'll go back to learn more. We'll do hero. We'll say is dynamic, and we'll pass in some children. Learn more. There we go. There we go. Awesome. So we can go back to the home page, and this will still be as it should be. But if we go to locations or learn more, we'll have this dynamic hero component. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this for all of our links now. So it should be pretty easy. We'll do pricing.js, RAFCE, fragment, hero, yep, import it, say is dynamic, and we'll do pricing. Okay, so then we'll add a route. So go to app, do routes pricing, and we'll link the component, the page component. I'll just test it out. Boom, there it is. Let's go ahead and do that for book now. So I guess we'll just start out here since we're already here. Book now. Book now. And pages, we can close these, by the way. Go ahead and close these. Go to pages and then do book now.js and say RAFCE. Make another fragment. Pass in hero. And say is dynamic. And then pass in some children, the hero. Book now. Go to book now. Oh, we have to import book now in the app component. Save. Oh, you know what? You know why this is not working? Because we didn't hook up the buttons yet to be able to link to the pages. So let's go ahead and do that because that's important. So button, we'll have to send in a 2 and on click. Since we can't wrap a button with link, it'll mess up all our styling and everything. We'll have to use the history, the use history custom hook that React Router DOM provides. So I'll go ahead and show you how to do that. All I have to do is just do const history and do use history. It'll auto import from React Router DOM. And then on the on click function here, just make it like this. So it will execute the on click if there is an on click. And also it should execute history.push and then pass in 2. And so on the buttons now, we can go to the header or the nav, for example, go to button, and we can add this to here that says where we should link to. So for this button is book now, so we'll do /book now. And so this should work. Let's refresh. And there we go. Now it's working. All right. These ones are not hooked up yet, so let's go ahead and do that. So let's go to Hero. Buttons. Say 2. Book now. And 2. Learn more. Awesome. Fresh. Book now. Learn more. Sweet. Okay, so what we'll do now is set up the locations page. So go to the locations component and pass in page as props. And then type const map data is equal to page, well, the opposite of page. If it's true, then do location data dot slice 0, 6. If it's false, then do location data, just location data. So basically, this is for the home page, and this is for the locations page. Okay, so let's go into pages and set up the locations page. So locations, and we'll say page, RIFCE. And here we'll do a fragment. Okay, within here we'll do link to the locations component, and we'll pass in page true. Oh, that's not right. Page is equal to true. Awesome. So now let's set this up. So here we need to add another class. So let's do this. We'll say if page is true, then we'll send in classes.page. If false, then send in nothing. All right. So let's go to locations style sheet, and go to the top right here. Do and.page padding. So we're going to take the initial padding, which is 100 pixels, and we're going to add that to the header height. And to use a variable within a calc, we have to wrap it in this little thing. So header height, and yeah, I don't know what it's called. So it's a little thing. Yeah, pound, and then the curly braces. So yeah, that should work. So let's actually set up the routing for this. We'll copy this up, and we'll say locations page. Great. So let's go to locations. Okay, or location actually, I guess. Okay, the styling is a bit off. That's due to this. So we actually have to do padding top, not padding. All right, that fixes it. Great. So yeah, now these are all listed out. And let's go ahead and make this button disappear since we're on the locations page. We'll make it dynamic. So say if page is false, and then we'll include it. Awesome. So it's not here, but if we go back to the home page, it is here. Okay, so let's also add some more data points or objects to the array. Copy. Put them down here. Just make them the same as the first 3. 7, 8, and 9. We'll have to take this, and instead of location data, we'll do map data. And so on the home page, there's only 6 of them. But when you go to view more, or locations, you see all of them. So as you can see, we also have to link this button. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll say link, link. Set this to 2 and locations. Let's go to app and actually change this to locations, not just location. We'll go to nav, do the same thing. Awesome. So we have all of our pages built out and ready to go, but there is another issue that we need to solve. So say we're on the home page here and we scroll down, we go ahead and click, let me just make this bigger real quick. Click view more. See how when we come to this page, we're stuck at this level and we're not at the top where we should be? Well, to fix this, we're gonna go ahead and create another hook. That's called the useScrollToTop hook. Basically, this hook will implement on each of our pages so that when you load the page, it'll make sure you're at the top of the page. Go to hooks, and we'll do use scroll to top.js. Go ahead and create a functional component here, and we'll return null because we don't need to return anything. Const path name is equal to use location, and use location is a React Router DOM hook, custom hook. So we'll set a use effect here, and so when this component is loaded, this use effect will run. Not loaded, but rendered. When this is rendered, the use effect will run. And window will access the window element on the DOM, and we'll do scroll to 0, 0, and it's as simple as that. But we need to pass path name as a dependency. So every time the path name changes up here, this gets run. Okay, so we're going to implement this into each of our pages. There we go. Except for home, we're not going to do the home. Use scroll to top, save. Use scroll to top, save, and use scroll to top, save. All right, so let's go ahead and test it, see if it works. View more, and boom, it brings us to the top of the page. Awesome. And if we click back, it'll bring us to the same place we were because we didn't put use scroll to top on the home component. I forgot to mention that if you want to make the hero video autoplay like this, then all you have to do is go to the hero component and go to the video element and put autoplay is equal to true. And we already have loop in here and everything, so the video will loop infinitely. And there you go. There's your video. All right, so that's going to conclude today's video. Thank you guys so much for being here and watching through till the end. If you enjoyed this and it helped you in any way, please leave a like on this video. It really helps me. Consider subscribing to the channel. Comment down below what you found most helpful in this video and if you enjoyed it, and also what you want to see from me in the future. So yeah, feel free to refactor this code however you want. You can, change the background here. You can build out these pages however you'd like and everything. Yeah, and if you do change it, let me know. Show me in the, send me a link in the comment section, whatever. So yeah, thanks again for watching. It means a lot to me. Have a great day, guys.